So it looks like we're back to this. Uh, Whatever, the sepia tone thing again. And it looks like I'm going to have to go back, go after some Baha'is again. I love the Baha'is that are so peaceful and tolerant that they're willing to ignore the kindness of people and go after them with such wretched hatred and ignore the hatred from others being thrown on them. I didn't know Baha'i was necessarily a cult until I started looking into it. And I'm still suspending that judgment. It actually is a cult. But the Baha'is that I have dealt with in the past were extremely disrespectful of people's beliefs. Just, oh, that's great, you're a Christian, or that's great, you're a Muslim, or that's great, you're a Jew, or that's great, you're Zoroastrian, or that's great, you're, whatever, Wiccan, or whatever you want to do, whatever it is. But, you really should know that's just for, like, those other people, people who don't get it, and, yeah, so, it's all just Bahai, and they're just holding you back. I mean, that's pretty much the thrust of it. And then when it comes to the Quran, there is no respect for the Quran. They claim that it's the most well-revealed document, the most clearest document, which I'm not even going to say the guy's name, the Bahai blank blank, because it means is God. When you say who, Allah, that is God. So I'm not going to say Yusuf hu Allah. I'm not going to say gambler hu Allah. I'm not going to say, I could say Isa hu Allah, or Jesu hu Allah, or Yesu hu Allah. But I'm not going to say Bahai blank blank, because he's not. Because Christ is, and I'm not going to say because I believe it. Oh, well, I believe it. I don't know if you believe that, but I believe in that. So, no, I'm going to state that as fact, because I actually do believe it. It's not just something that I'm not going to move ground on that one. And I shouldn't expect anybody from any other religious belief to move ground on their belief. This seems like a tactic of Scientology. You can stay in your, you could be Christian or a Jew or whatever, and then you hear L. Ron Hubbard wailing on about, there was no Christ, and, for 2,000 years we've thought of man as a spiritual being. Whose freaking timeline are you using? Anatoly Fomenko? Because for 8,000 years at least, going into the ancient time, he had no concept of history. So for 2,000 years we thought man was a spiritual being. So Plato didn't think man was a spiritual being. Really, I didn't know that, because he was 500 years before the birth of Christ. And obviously Abraham didn't think man was a spiritual being, which that goes back 4,000 years. And then we get to Sumer and Akkad, and you have, stuff going back like the Vedas and the Tanakh, Torah. It just... Another guy, this guy who invented this religion post English colonial period, it's very fitting, and it's just like L. Ron Hubbard. It's very stuck in the 50s and 60s, or at least the 50s up to the mid 60s. He's stuck in that mindset of this is what life should be like, and this is what life is. It seems very stuck in that at time that nationalism was rising, that the mosques were kind of empty, or masjids were empty throughout the Middle East. Time when you had the rise of nationalism, the Young Turks, you had the Shah of Iran really in prominence to showcase, hey, check this out, this is a non-Arab Muslim nation, it's Persia, it's this, it's that. The time of Ataturk, I mean, it all reeks of this stuff, of one place and one location, which that's not been the case for, I don't know, really any sincere belief system. Any belief system that says, oh, we're a new religion that's come on the scene and you can keep your own religion, but check this out, we got some stuff that we need to tell you. Kind of worried about that, so I gotta go check out some stuff on someone's channel. We'll be good to that in a few hours. I gotta go around and do some stuff. I guess I should have been born in the 60s. I got a black leather jacket, I got slicked back dark hair. It could have been a greaser, right? So I should have been stuck in that. I mean, that's just stupid. Come on. So I guess I'm going to have to mess with some Baha'is, because I always tell people, never defend yourself. Let us defend you. Let your friends defend you. And not all people from the same faith or background. So looks like I'm going to have to take up the fight that I tell people, so tell other people not to fight. Then again, on my videos, I won't defend them. I mean, if it's an issue, if there's like an issue of like historical fact, I'll defend that. But for personal attacks, I let others defend me. I won't defend myself, and I tell other people, don't defend yourself. We'll come defend you, because you shouldn't. Anybody who makes a personal attack on you, you shouldn't have to even answer that. Don't worry about it. We'll come. That's what friendship and love and belief is. It's not you have to have the exact same dogma and toe the party line in order, no, screw that. I've never subscribed to that idea. So, the Baha'is that have been harassing a certain someone, I know your history better than you know your history. And I know what went on in those periods in Iran. And I know why those people got executed. See, along with the theology, there often is a history. And you have to look at how that resounds out that history. That's why I can wipe away with just the thrust of my hand many of these Protestant or evangelical factions, because I can say, wait a minute, you're looking at that in a 21st century viewpoint. You can't do that. Or at best, you're looking at that with an 18th century viewpoint. That's not what it was. It was a first, second, and third century viewpoints that were influencing these reactions. And it's not all the same. And even across those centuries, just as it differs between, the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries, there's different realms of realities. I mean, if people not take sociology or psychology or anything like that anymore, or history. So it looks like I'm going to have to deal with some Baha'is that are harassing some people. Which, if you're actually Baha'is and you're all, hey, everybody's good with everybody, it's cool, everybody's the same, it's all good, what are you doing harassing people? Or just saying, hey, yeah, this crazy stuff happened up at Wilmette with me, and I don't really dig what happened there. Well, shouldn't you be like, yeah, hey, let's talk about that. Yeah, that's messed up too. I don't know if I experienced that, but what did you experience? No, it's just boom, attack. That's It's very indicative of a cult. So, whatever. I'll see you in, I don't know, either a few hours or Monday. Take it easy. So it looks like we're back to this. Whatever, the sepia tone thing again. And, kindness of people and go after them with such wretched hatred and ignore the hatred from others being thrown on them. I didn't know Bahai was necessarily a cult. It looks like I'm gonna have to go back, go after some Baha'is again. I love the Baha'is that are so peaceful and tolerant that they're willing to ignore the cult until I started looking into it. And I'm still suspending that judgment. It actually is a cult. But the Baha'is that I have dealt with in the past were extremely disrespectful of people's beliefs. Just, oh, that's great, you're a Christian, or that's great, you're a Muslim, or that's great, you're a Jew, or that's great, you're Zoroastrian, or that's great, you're, whatever, Wiccan, or